Hi, today we'll be taking a look the first 3 of the 6 decks that you can build from the first title booster from the V series. Alright, it's been years since we have a title booster. The last one was Token Ranbu, which was at the end of G era, so it's been around 2 years or more. Right, if it's the English version, it's even longer. Right, so today we'll be taking a look at Popping Party, Afterglow, and Pastel Palette. Right, so for Rosalia, Hello Happy World, and Racer Sweden, we'll be taking a look at on another day. Alright, we'll start with Popping Party. First, we'll take a look at the unique ability from Bank Dream series, which is the sideway order cards. Right, so these are musics. Unlike the normal order cards that get thrown into the drop zone after casting, right, these order cards will stay on the field until the end of turn at the right behind your vanguard, so will be placed right behind here, so the slot at the back is usually empty for them. Okay, so first we will take a look at the grade 3 order card, which is like the ace. So if you're one of each character on the field, look at top 5 of it, review 5 cards from the top of the deck and place one of more critical among them back to the top of the deck. If your opponent's vanguard is grade 3, during this turn all your units get power plus 5000 according to the amount of critical trigger revealed. Right, so you get to control the cards on top and you get additional power. Not only that, we just skip a bit. Kasumi actually have the ability that if you have one of each character on the field, trigger abilities will be shared among all the units in the front row. Right, so if you manage to pull like 2 critical on the top and you trigger twice, all units in the front row get double crit. Alright, which is pretty strong. And it requires a lot of setup. Kizuna Music Continuous has a rear guard, which is at the back. If your opponent's vanguard is grade 2 and above, all units in your front row get power plus 5000. And when it enters the field, so plus 1, look at top 5, add 1 to hand, and shuffle the deck. Right, this is for setting up, which we are playing 3 copies, and the endgame card, which is 2 copies. Right, we are not playing the grade 1 as the synergy wasn't really good when we tested it. Next, we'll take a look at the grade 3. Right, like what I said just now, if you're one of each on the field, trigger effects that you trigger check is shared among all units in the front row. And activate, if you have not played any order card during this turn, you can counter blast 1, search for a music from your deck or drop zone, and play it. And if you search the deck, shuffle the deck. So actually you do not have to play that many, since you can retrieve them, but suggestion is around 2 copies at least, just in case it goes to damage zone. So that's our ace. So this deck plays around having all players on the field. Next we have Remy. When your vanguard attacks and your opponent is grade 3 and above, you can discard 1 card, reveal a critical trigger in your hand. During this battle, your Popping Party in the vanguard circle get power plus 10,000, drive plus 1. So not only you can manipulate the critical, you can actually give an additional drive. Tai enters the field, discard 1 card from hand, add 1 music from your drop zone back to hand. And when your vanguard attacks during this turn, both this and that, your vanguard get power plus 5000. Right, and if you notice that the vocal, the main vocal of each band, have additional grade 2, grade 1, and grade 0. So for grade 2, enters the field, look at top 7, add 1 music to hand. And after that, shuffle the deck. Saya enters the field, counter blast 1, return 1 card back to the bottom of the deck. add one trigger and one popping party normal unit from your drop zone back to hand. Cards with the same name can activate once per turn. So this is for you to set up the field retriever. Next, Arisa. Enters the field, so +1, reveal a critical in hand, look at top 5, add a non-Arisa popping party to hand, shuffle the deck. Right, so your grade 1 is for setting up. Your grade 2s are the main attackers. Next, grade 1. Enter the field, look at top 7. Add search. This is for Vanguard when you ride it. So look at top 7, reveal up to one grade 3 Kasumi, which is herself, and shuffle the deck. As a rear guard, return it back to bottom deck. Return a non-Kasumi popping party from your drop to hand. Right, so that's the main deck. For critical triggers, the critical trigger in Bang Dream actually allows you to put up to 8 copies. Right, and they come with 6 different arts, so you can choose which one you want. Same for the heal trigger, there are alternate arts and the draw triggers. And for the Sentinel, there's only one type. And the first Vanguard is the normal first Vanguard. Right, so for this deck, we will use the grade 1 to manipulate the drop zone and the deck to have the full field. So your ideal field will look something like this. And to end the game, we have returns. For the grade 2 is more of setting up early game or your first grade 3 ride. Most of the time on the second grade 3 ride, you should be able to activate returns. Alright, so start battle phase. Look at top 5. Should put the critical on top. Right, so just to show off the ability. Right, so you look at top 5. Right, review as many review the critical triggers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Everyone get power plus 20,000. Put one of them back to the top of your deck. The rest to the bottom. Okay, then Vanguard will declare attack. So Tae and Kasumi will get 5,000, 5,000 each. Then we activate Rimi's effect. So discard one card from my hand. Review a critical trigger. So it gets triple drive plus 10,000. So this will be 28,000 base. Trigger, critical trigger. So all front row get abilities. Heal trigger, all front row get additional 10,000. Another trigger. Right. So that's the basic way of playing this deck. The biggest weakness is that this deck requires you to have all units on the field. Right, so against a matchup such as Blade Master, you'll be at a disadvantage. So you will have to try to have all the grade 1s in your hand, especially Saya, and the grade 1 Kasumi for you to pull them back. And at the deciding turn, just splash everything on the field and attack. Right, so that's for popping party. Alright, for the second band, we'll be taking a look at Afterglow. So once again, let's start with the order cards. So first of all, the main card will be on your mark. When your Vanguard with Mitake run declares attack, and you can choose one of each character. So Mocha, Tsugumi, Tomoe, Himari, 4 of them. Choose one each, stand them. Alright, so if you stand 4 cards, you get 2 imaginary gifts. So that's the main card. And the other one is Scarlet Sky. When you play this card and your Vanguard is Afterglow, from your deck search for up to 1 Afterglow unit that do not exist on your Vanguard rearguard circle, add it to your hand and shuffle the deck. And the second ability, at the start of battle phase, stand up to 2 of your Afterglow unit. Right, so that's all restanding at this deck. Let's take a look at the main mechanics. So Mitake run. Once per turn, you can rest 2 of your rear guards, up to 2 of your rear guards. And for each unit you rest for this course, choose 1 unit to get power plus 10,000. And once again, if you have not played any order cards during this turn, you can counter plus 1. Search and play up to 1 Afterglow music from your drop ball deck and shuffle the deck if you search. Right, so resting at power and use the order card to restand them. Right, pretty simple. Next we have Himari. So if you have 4 or more rear guards with Afterglow, all of them cannot be chosen by opponent's card effect. So it's against abilities such as ability that need to choose, like let's say Blaster Blade, choose a unit on your opponent's field and send it to drop. So they have protection against that. And once per turn, counter plus 1, rest 1 of your rear guard to draw 1. Right, so you rest, and after that use the order to restand them. Very simple. Next we have Mocha. So all Afterglow in your Guardian Circle get guard plus 5,000. So your grade 2s are 10 and your grade 1 will be 15. Once per turn, Soul plus 1, rest 1 of your rear guard. During this turn, all your units get pop. Afterglow unit get power plus 5,000. So Soul plus 1, rest, everyone get power plus 5,000. Order card, restand. Very simple. Grade 2 run. Enters the field, review the top of your deck. If it's Afterglow, add it to your hand. Simple. That includes the order card. If rested by a Afterglow's card ability, you can restand this. You can, so after resting, you may choose to restand it, or you may choose not to, and use the order card to restand 4, the grade 3 one, to restand 4 and get 2 imaginary gifts. Tomoe. When rested by your other Afterglow ability, 1 of your Vanguard get power plus 5,000, and if your opponent is grade 3 and above, counter plus 1, your Vanguard get critical plus 1. The grade 1 version enters the field. If your Vanguard is Afterglow, draw 1, drop 1, and cards with the same name can only activate once per turn. Alright, once again, the trigger is the same as Popping Party. Alright, with multiple copy of the same critical trigger, 8 copies, and heal. Alright, let's take a look at the ideal field for this deck. So we will have run in the center, mainly something like this, or playing on your mark. So you can choose which either of the imaginary gift. Normally I'll choose Force 2, since there's little to no chance of me riding grade 3 again in this game. But it actually works very well with Force 1. Right, as you can play 2 turns, so you have like additional 2 Force marker. but it's according to the matchup. So the basic way of playing this deck. So Run will choose 2 unit, any 2 unit. So normally I'll choose anyone other than Tsugumi. Rest them. And I'll give 10,000 to 2 units in front. Next I'll activate, let's say Mocha. So plus 1. Rest another unit. So all unit get power plus 5,000. So this is 15 buff, 5, 5. Next counter plus 1. Rest and the unit can rest itself. Draw 1. Then start attack phase. Stand 4 of them. Get another 2 imaginary gift. Yeah, it's that simple. So that's the main flow of this deck. So if I'm not playing on your mark, let's say I'm playing the grade 2 version. Right, so with this I can actually choose up to 3 cards. So normally Mitake Run, Rest 2, 10k, 10k, using her effect, Restand, and Mocha, so plus 1, rest any of the rear guard. Everyone get power plus 5,000, stop attack phase, Restand. Yeah, it's that simple. Right, so that's from Afterglow. Alright, last but not least, we'll take a look at Pastel Palette. Start with the music. So for this deck, the grade 3 order cast is actually not the finisher. So continuous, if you have 8 different Pastel Palettes in Soul, when your Maruyama Aya Vanguard attacks, it attacks all unit on the field instead. Right, so it's similar to Escalpade Master. So this is not our finisher. The main attacking order card is actually the grade 2. Yura Ring Dong Dance. Activate. If you have a Maruyama Aya Vanguard, discard 1 card from hand. Search for up to 1 Chitose, the blonde hair girl. Right, the one in the picture here. Search from 1 from your deck or drop zone. Call it onto a rearguard circle in the front row. If you search your deck, shuffle the deck as usual. And if you have a Maruyama Aya Vanguard, which is her, on your Vanguard circle, during this turn, the unit that you caught, right, the circle will be treated as a Vanguard circle. So you have 2 Vanguard circle. And of course you can drive check with her, so there will be a twin drive and a single drive. So that's for the finisher grade 2, which you can start using since when you're in grade 2, which is pretty good. For the grade 1, it's very simple. Enter the field. If you have Pastel Palette on your Vanguard and Vanguard circle, draw 2, drop 1. So this for setting up the Shrine Dreaming. Okay, we'll go for the grade 3. During your turn, if you have 5 or more different Pastel Palette in Soul, or Pastel Palette on your Vanguard and Vanguard circle get power plus 5,000. If there are 8 or more, you get power plus 10,000 instead. And just like the previous deck, you can counter plus 1 to search for the order card. Right, next we'll take a look at the main combi. Right, so on the Vanguard circle, if you have 5 or more Pastel Palette in Soul, your Vanguard with Maruyama Aya get power plus 5,000. Vanguard Rearguard effect once per turn. Put a Pastel Palette from your hand to Soul and return 1 card other than herself with the same name from your Soul back to hand, so you can exchange things in your Soul. So that's our main combination. Next, we have Hina. So once again, you have 5 or more different pestle balance. So this unit get power plus 5000, guard plus 5000, and my attacking counter plus 1. Choose up to 2 pestle palette from your drop zone, return them back to hand, and 1 into hand, the rest into soul. So it helps you increase your hand and also to have different types of pestle palette in your soul. So it's definitely a key unit. Grade 2 version, enter the field, search for up to 1 pestle palette from your deck, put it into soul, shuffle, and cards with the same name can only activate once per turn. So this is also for setting up. Next we have Eve. You can actually play lesser than this, like 2 copies will do. So enter the field, soul charge 1. If you have 5 or more different pestle palette in soul, this unit get intercepts and can intercept from the back row. Right, it's not really a must-have. Right, just 2 copies should be more than enough. Right, for the grade 1, enters the field, look at top 3, put any amount of pestle palette among them into soul, the rest back to bottom deck. So it's also for setting up. Enter the field, look at top 7, add up to 1 Maruyama from your among them to hand, shuffle the deck, and if you add a card, discard 1 card. Right, so the trigger and the first vanguard is the same. So in terms of ideal field, right, most of the time it will be something like this. The grade 1 is not really essential, since most of the unit in this deck is purely for setting up. And we have the grade 2 as the main, like this. Right, so during your main phase, activate this. So either pull it out from your drop on your deck. Here, these 2 counter as Vanguard Circle. Right, and depending on how many dice in your soul, your unit get power up. Recommended will be Force 2, since this deck pumps a lot of power. So twin drive followed by a single drive. It's a very simple deck, not as much gimmick as the previous field, but this is a lot easier to set up, since you do not need to have like 1 of each character on the field. You can have, let's say, duplicate units like this. Right, the deck will still work. All you need is, as long as you have Aya and Chitose on the field, it's very simple. There's a chance of making mistake, as the setup is mainly on the soul, which you have a lot of support units that actually do that and help you manipulate the soul. So I would say that this is one of the easiest to play among the 3 decks.